GRIDLIFE Rush Series racing about to kick off here from the GRIDLIFE Midwest Festival. Welcome back to GingerMan Raceway in South Haven, Michigan. Blair Hosey, the winner from the Rush Series Race 3. Jackson Lambros caught up with him. We'll check in with him before we show you the dice roll for the invert for race number 4.
Some really good showing here from the Rush SR ringleader, Blair Hosey, going back-to-back here. You were joking and saying that thing was on rails. The opposite luck I was seeing makes me want to beg to differ there.
Yeah, I have decent experience in the wet, so I thought everyone was going to be a lot faster, so kind of put it on the knife's edge the first couple laps, and then came down the straight and looked back. I was like, I'm in a different zip code. So, yeah, just kind of dialed it back and just made sure we brought the car home. And, yeah, good points for the weekend, so I think we took the lead as points run now. So trying to get the win, and, yeah, shows wet or dry, we can still win this thing.
Good stuff, Blair. Thanks.
Cheers, man.
Again very quickly, but this is not a movement of the winner for race 3. Rather, we're going to flip the grid based on whatever number is rolled on the D10. If it's a 0, we're going to flip the top 10. If it's 2 is the lowest number we can go. We can't do a 1, obviously, because that would be no flip. So 2 would be the lowest number you're looking for here, Blair. So that being said, let's do it. And that will be 7. And as we can tell there, I don't think that was the number we were looking for there, Blair.
It's a 3. It's a 3.
I don't know if it was originally a 3.
It's just like my worst number, too. I've never had luck with that. Anyways, we'll send it. It'll be fun.
I think you heard it there first. Gonna send it for race 4.
All right, sending it for race 4 we will. Field rolls off to get us started for GRIDLIFE Rush Series race number 4. Welcome back to GRIDLIFE Midwest Festival. Kyle and I are joined by Jackson Lambros. Jackson, just catching up with me now here in the booth. We're expecting a pretty fun one to end this race.
So after rolling that 7, Blair instantly was like, watch this, I'm gonna roll a 2 immediately after the one I needed to. And believe it or not, on the chair, it was a 2 that second time around. Everyone around him was going nuts. He's got a little bit of work to do, but talk to him a little bit before the dice roll. Those LEMs are on rails, to say the least. Let's walk you through the grid here, Kyle.
All right, kicking things off on the front row of this field. It's Ryan Leach in the number 56. Great starting opportunity for him. Ellis Spezia in the 111 will start alongside the number 56 champion from last year. Ayrton Grimm starts in 3rd in the 121. Bryce Mersberger in the 114 rolls off 4th, and Ryerson Whistle and James French in row number 3. Starting in position number 7, it's Blair Hosey, the winner from race 3. Trip Stout starts alongside of it in 8th place. And rounding out your top 10, Justin Kelly and Brett DiGiacomo.
A lot of big names out in front. That is going to be something to look out for. Just outside, Hassan Ahmed is alongside Max Krause for row number 6. Row number 7, the 35 of Kyle Melnick will be alongside Jalen Batley, battling some brake issues. He'll be starting P14. Row number 8, Ben Carroll and Nick Billingsley, slow but steady charge for the number 9, will be starting P16. Row number 9, Matt Wilson, top CGR driver in the 188. He's alongside Michael Neff. Row 10, Isaac Nolan alongside Grant Bourne.
And in 21st place, in row 11, it's Mark Charnogorski in the 718. Jason Ayler starts 22nd in the 74. Then it's Jordan Musser in the 106, 23rd place, alongside Robert Desjardins in the 81. Following that, it's Anthony Maganoli and Jared Anderson in the number 99. Behind them in row 14, Heath Pomerantz in the 511. Ryan Anderson rolls off 28th in the 48 car. And then it's Jeffrey Gordon in the 54, Lee Kellert in the number 13.
Again, every single entry in the 40s here to get us started in 2026. Sam Reed alongside Jake Sanders for row 16. Row 17, it's Pat Brady and John Robinson in the 190. 35th, 36, AJ Campo will be alongside Bill Durance in the 20. All the way back to row number 19, Evan Hardesty, JD Kroll flying that flag further back in the field for LEM. Kelsey Anderson, last of the Billingsley Motorsports entries, will be alongside Jeff Hardesty.
And to bring up the rear of the field, it's Paul Click in the number 71 and Tony Barber in the 150. Last on the grid will be Andy Vogel in the number 34, starting from the tail of the field. Weekend points so far as they run. This is how tight things are. Blair Hosey over French by just 3 points. So it's going to be a battle to the end either way. This will be fun.
Gonna have to play outrun through the traffic here, trying to make some moves as much as possible. But again, nothing but confidence from that late entry motorsports tent on how dialed in Those pair are out in front, two of the most experienced drivers in the Rush cars, obviously. They've got their work cut out for them. Watch Ayrton Grimm as well for P3. One more race to go here for Rush Series here at GingerMan. Kyle, let's get this party started.
Doubled up, 45 cars deep, GRIDLIFE Rush Series action. The sun is back out. The last race of the weekend, a little bit of a stack up here midfield. Will we get the green flag regardless? Here we go, waiting for the green. And we will get it there. Green flag, we're underway from GingerMan Raceway.
Wissel trying the inside. Leash getting the advantage will lead him out of turn number 1. Nearly 4 wide further back as they tiptoe through this now fully dry 1 and 2 for the first time. Grimm losing that spot, your championship leader. Bryce Mersberger getting a spot 4 wide coming out of turn 3 in the mid-pack, but further up, Ryan Leash up and away.
Yeah, that's a great start for Leach, and he's going to be such a hard driver to pass. Again, won the first 12 races last year and the championship, so he is a stout driver. A little 3 wide back here in the field as we head through turn 4. Under throttle, though, Leach has cleared Spezia by about 5 car lengths.
Furthest up both of those guys have been, and again, Spezia been a slow build. Reducing pace session by session, just trying to adapt. We've got trouble further back. That's one of the circuit jerk machines. I believe Jake Sanders may be getting collected just coming out of turn 7 there.
Yeah, that is Jake Sanders there, and he was gotten tangled up, and you see it was already off course there a little bit. Ooh. Contact there with, I see the frustration there from the 112. Yeah, I don't think they've sorted that out just yet, have they?
Went to the Paul Tracy School of Sign Language there. Clearly some frustration from the 135. But again, last race of the weekend, still a lot of points on the table. You see how aggressive a lot of these guys are, just trying to maximize that point output before we pack up, head up to the northeast.
Yeah, full course yellow now for this race. So Ryan Leach's advantage will be negated, and we'll start all over again after we pick up a couple cars at the exit of turn number 3. Double yellows out. Grimm up to 3rd place, hunting those top 2.
Lost that spot to Bryce Mersberger. We just see that now as he passes the line. So we'll have to gather it back up and try and mount an assault on your championship points leader for P3. But again, a phenomenal drive, and crucially, you rewind to exactly 24 hours ago, no engine cowl, no rear wing, but regardless, was doing a phenomenal job sticking it on the outside, trying to find runs. I'm sure he also had the same sprocket set as everybody else, didn't have that advantage fully in the legs, but was really able to fend off despite missing that rear engine cowl. So clean air versus dirty air, I think, been very much at play here, especially at a venue like GingerMan.
Checking in on the points now that we've got a lap on the belt. How about 1 point between Blair Hosey and James French? So if French gains 1 spot, he wins the weekend. And again, same thing with Hosey. Right?
Again, you look at where they are right now. French getting a pair of positions. I think Wissel did a slightly better job there of covering down low and fending off. And really, I think it was Wissel who was able to go down low, get a couple spots at the start. That really foiled the plans of both of those LEM guys trying to move forward. Was a little bit of a cork in the bottle, but I think what's standing out to me in the handful of restarts we've seen, in the handful of starts period, just how advantageous that clean air is for the guy out in front. We saw it with Hosey in the wet. Right now, Ryan Leash, I mean, even before that, had feel like a 1.5-second gap before we went full course yellow.
Yeah, a big gap, and a lot of that is just due to the chaos on the start. You can't just focus out I guess the halo sort of thing here, because there's not really a windshield, is there?
You call it a halo, I think.
Right. So you're looking in the rear view mirrors a lot, and for Spezia, Mersberger, Grimm, they all have to worry about cars behind them. As soon as Leach got clear, he can just focus forwards. So that helps a lot in the first half lap. Now on the restart, Leach is the one that has to be on defense here.
Absolutely. I think a lot of guys are going to send it deep, but did catch up with Jordan Musser last night, and he did really fill me in on the difference of clean air versus dirty air here, and I think he's driven a lot, whether it's karts, sports cars, a little bit of open wheel stuff a couple of years ago, as wow, they are really getting to work here on the 77. Had to get the front cover of the front bodywork fully removed, it looks like, in order to get that on the hauler. That's just because of how narrow of a clearance it is between the splitter and the ground itself. And I can tell you, being on pit exit for all of these races, you are hearing a lot of scraping, as surprisingly a lot of suspension travel in these rush cars, but you hear that scraping of the splitter in the heavy braking zones, so much so that a lot of these guys have to switch out bolt sets in some cases for the tracks where you have heavier braking zones. Road Atlanta for sure. Guys were swapping bolt sets for the struts almost every race.
Yeah, great point. I mean, there's a lot of technical knowledge that you need to sort of have to be at the top of any sort of spec class. The Rush Series car is relatively simply built, so it doesn't take, you know, a rocket scientist to learn all the intricacies of it, but it does help to know the tips and tricks to go fast, I think.
And again, was trying to circle back to that point where you can be fast. I think we're seeing a lot of guys go outside of the draft, go offline, because that difference between dirty air and clean air, according to a lot of the guys I've talked to who have been, you know, multifaceted drivers, very, very vast difference. You're losing a lot of grip when you're tucked in to a guy in the corner speed, and I think that's for a couple of reasons. You've got a lot of simple aerodynamics that keeps the car easy to maintain, but on the downside, you are punching a perfect hole in the air for the guy behind you. If you're riding in line behind someone, you're getting zero airflow to those wings, right? So that's why we're seeing, you know, Ayrton Grimm able to hang on even though he's going on the high line. That's why you're seeing, especially turn 11, you talked about the advantage not only of staying out of the puddle, staying in the banking, but I think genuinely, if you're outside and you're able to roll that momentum, you have an advantage.
Yeah, Ryan Leach, your race leader here. Again, his season so far, again, it's worth highlighting. Second in the championship standings, 142 points. In 8 starts, he's already amassed 2 wins before this weekend, 4 podiums, and an average finish of 4.5. I will say, though, these stats, while they are impressive, they aren't as impressive as the beginning of last season. And that, I think, shows you, with Ryan Leach being so impressive, how much the talent and the skill and the drivers have leveled up their game to match the 56 of Leach.
Chatted with him yesterday. He would proudly admit he was the first one to really find the limit of this new generation that was really really deployed last year by Rush, and a lot of guys have been playing catch up, whether it was the back half of 2025, a lot of testing over the offseason for a lot of these guys as well. But, you know, he admitted he's not the only guy that's got it figured out, and you could go all the way back to a lot of guys in the top 10 who have really been competitive, but none more than Bryce Merceberger. We thought he was going to have a target in his back for Road Atlanta. He left coming into this weekend still with that red plate.
He did, and I think a model of consistency, and that when you're consistently fast, that really helps a lot for a handful of drivers like Bryce Merceberger. Again, so many successful events last season, but so few of them at the very pointy end in points races. This year, everything counts for points, and he's doing much better this year out in front. But right behind him, that 121 of Ayrton Grimm. The story has been told a couple of times this weekend, but he is a racer through and through. And for Grimm, he has gotten himself emancipated for Watkins Glen so he can race there next month.
Beautiful.
Turning 17 between now and then, but it's still not the 18 that's required to race at upstate New York due to some very old labor laws. So he went to a lawyer in Indiana that specializes in that sort of thing for the SCCA, and they've gotten it done. Impressive.
What you got to do to race anywhere.
Full family
the amount
affair.
of kid. Yeah.
There was no pushback. Actually, his mom, Melissa, was messaging me asking about the details just so that they could kind of get things sorted out, because it wasn't just Ayrton that wanted to do it. It was mom and dad and brother Wilbur and everybody there. So really cool to see the whole family getting excited. I think we're going green. Here we go. Green flag in the air again in Rush Series race number 4.
Merceberger going to pop out early. He'll try the outside. Ayrton Grimm going up there with him. They're both trying to attack Spezia. Into 1 and 2. That outside going to become the inside. That's why it's the parry that Merceberger's trying on the inside. You see him just side by side. Leach arrowheading him out of turn number 2. Full advantage there. Done deal. Merceberger up into P2.
Yeah, well done there by Merceberger in the 114. It's a little bit bottled up there for 3rd and 4th. Look at James French making passes, and they can be very critical. Getting around Ayrton Grimm, putting himself in position to take home the weekend title. Points on the right side of the screen. It's 1 point between Hosey and French.
Hosey got to get on his horse here and make some moves quick. Only 5 minutes and change on the clock. He wants to walk away on the top step of the podium. He's got to make some moves as soon as he can. You see him just to the left-hand side of your screen there as we work back out of 10B here for the first time at Fullsong on the restart. And crucially here, Ryan Leach not able to fully run away with it. Spezia, Merceberger just there.
And Blair Hosey climbing his way forward. Started 7th, running 7th, but going for 6th down the inside at 10B. That's a look at Ryerson whistle. Yes, and I think they're gonna slide by here. That's Grim that he's gotten by. He's moving out.
Yeah, not the restart that Grim wanted. Tried the outside there on turn 1 with Bryce, and I think got washed up. So unfortunately, the issue with the spec series stuff, and you see this in a lot of low power spec series, MX5 Cup, GR Cup, etc. If you go out of line or try to make a move, there's no such thing as losing a single spot. You've got everybody immediately trying to pounce and take advantage. Blair Hosey was one of them, and you see that now. He is your weekend points leader.
Well, he was before. French gained a point that would have knocked him down a spot, but Hosey gained 2. So that's the ebb and flow, as French and Hosey are racing each other to the front.
Spezia now dropping. Look at this, Hosey trying to pick up the scraps. Heading into turn number 7.
Wow.
And look at this, Spezia with the disadvantage has to use all the curb there and is just able to patch it up. What's the move here? Hosey gonna try down low. Turn number 8 doesn't have quite the overlap, but he's got all that clean air going over the bow of that Rush SR. That'll be a done deal.
Blair Hosey into the number 8, up to 5th place. Oh, off the racetrack. Big slide out of turn 7.
I think he might have had a wheel off there, and unfortunately, that grip differential had him fly off to the high line immediately.
Oh man, look at this, the 9. Wow, that was tight. Billingsley almost getting the nose chopped off.
So again, second time we've seen a really strong front runner make a rare mistake and drop deep into the top 10. That'll be another one for Blair Hosey here as he is on the attack, trying to make that move on James French.
This is going to be the battle for the weekend again. Down into turn 11. Oh, big lunge from Hosey. Oh. Wow, this is going to be fun. The top 3 in the championship, racing not only for the series title again this year, but also for second. It's all happening in the rear view of Ryan Leach, though.
And Ryan is absolutely stoked to see that, right? He has that lead. He has that 1.3 second gap. The last thing he wants is coexistence from these guys, but they see the big picture. They see a championship points lead. They see a weekend points lead. I think they're going to go at it right here with just over 3 minutes on the clock.
1 point between them. Whichever one finishes ahead of the other wins the weekend here. Wow, this is close. This is tight. This is spectacular.
Hosey's got a good run. He's going to go to the outside here through turn number 4. I'm not sure if he's able to make that move. Might try a crossover. But again, the inside becomes the outside. This is Switchback City, that middle part of the course. And if you're able to hang on and just keep that overlap, we saw it last year in the opening weekend for GLGT, you're able to consistently go side by side. The banking, the change of direction constantly allows that. And with these cars, it's no issue. Hosey gonna stay in the tracks though, that 191.
This battle is fierce, and it's giving, trouble in the background. Can't quite get the numbers there.
83, I believe.
Thanks for that. You're a little closer to the screen than I, but that was out of turn 3, and I think they'll be able to get back rolling again, so we'll stay racing. Mersberger defending from French. Game on here.
No reflex yet. Now it's French looking to the inside of the final corner. We'll go for the full lunge. And here it is, white flag, Ryan Leach. Gonna lead them all to the line one more time, and that'll be a done deal for French for P2.
White flag, you said it, last lap, second place, it's side by side.
French gonna try and cross him up. No, that was a phenomenal first corner there for Mersberger. But just a little bit further back, you got Hosey, and if they continue to go at it, Aaron Grimm trying to get in the mix as well, and you can see how hard they're going at it outside the top 10. Last opportunity to get points. Hosey's gonna go for it into turn 5.
And he's got it, and French is gonna cross him over out of 3. Side by side again, up to 4 and 5 on the last lap of the race for third place.
Late apex for French, he was able to slingshot, but will have to stick side by side here. If he can hold on, that outside gonna be able to become the inside. They are neck and neck. This could come down to the vinyl here for the weekend. Still side by side. It is a matter of points over the course of the past 2 days. And here comes Aaron Grimm.
Wow, he gave him a shot to the rear bumper. Hello, guys. I'm here to party as well. This battle is spectacular. Leach, Mersberger, French, Hosey, Grimm fighting inside the top 5 with half a lap to go.
Camaraderie thrown out the window between the late entry motorsports teammates. And just behind Ayrton Grimm in that 121, ready to kick over some sandcastles, trying to get himself out of the party. Hosey with the exit. They're going to drag race out of 10B for the final time.
Ryan Leach has nobody in the mirrors. He's going to win this race, but everybody watching the battle for third, side by side, into the final corner. It was 1/1000th in the GLGT race yesterday. Hosey pulls clear, and I don't think French heads a response. Leach wins. Mersberger second, then it's Hosey, French, Grimm, the rest of your top 5.
Whew!
Oh, Leach. Where'd Leach go?
I'm not sure if that was a transponder issue or if Ryan Leach has... I'm going to hope that's a transponder issue.
Yeah, where is that 56?
We're looking here from the showcase stage, and we do not see any black and red off in the grass.
I don't see that 56 car anywhere.
So we're going to assume that's a transponder issue.
I'm not going to assume that. I'm going to assume that he dropped off the racetrack. I don't see him anywhere. So I think Mersberger might have won this race.
Oh my goodness.
Where did Leach, I mean, he has not scored as crossing the stripe. And I didn't see him come back around.
Well, what I was going to say is, you know, with that win for Leach, that was going to be a major shakeup in the championship point standings, especially with a strong running as well, both from French and Hosey respectively.
So let's have a look at this and see what was going on. Figure out where that 56 car landed or didn't land. But yeah, I didn't see him at all. And again, I'm inclined to believe the timing unless there's a specific reason why I shouldn't. And I don't have any, I don't see him on the impound list either that just came through. So they're bringing in the 114 and a couple of others. That would signify to me that Mersberger was the winner as expected by the timing and scoring. So where has the 56 gone?
We'll have to figure out. I can tell you right now, I believe the 119 of Robinson being serviced by track staff right now as I'm seeing that Fast and Furious Supra get on the flatbed. There you go, folks. Bryce Mersberger going to be your leader here. Blair Hosey, James French joining him to make up your final podium for Rush Series here. Ayrton Grimm, Justin Kelly, Max Kraus, Tripp Stout, Ryerson Whistle, Ellis Spezia, Jalen Boutley on the drive back round out your top 10.
Yeah, super surprised. Again, not know where that 56 went, but Mersberger will pick it up. Looking down the rest of the list, Jason Ayler there in 18th place, Grant Bourne, Hassan Ahmed in the top 20. Pretty wild, pretty entertaining. Desjardins, Matt Wilson, Jaron Anderson, Lee Keller, Ryan Anderson, Sam Reed there in the 256 in 30th place. And on the last couple of rows and pages here, there's Ryan Leach, scored 38.
Oh my goodness.
And again, we'll update you, I guess, when we can. So again, I'm not exactly sure where he could have gone. No word from anyone else. No one else saw him either. So just disappeared, transplanted off into the dirt somewhere, perhaps. But that's it for the Grid Life Rush Series race number 4. Wow, what a dramatic ending.
I can tell you right now, Keegan Bosch, we're seeing his car get on the flatbed, and then obviously Jake Sanders, we saw as well. That was the reasoning of our first caution. But what could have been a major shakeup in the championship is exactly what the doctor ordered it. As we take a look at the Grid Life highlights, it looked so strong for the multifaceted driver for LEM into turn number 1. They battled for scraps behind, and that is the spin we saw earlier on, and some secondary contact there with Jake Sanders.
Yeah, and again, there was some frustration there, but again, the 56 led the way, and he was so far clear of everyone, almost 3 seconds, that we sort of weren't really paying attention. Somewhere, somehow, ended up dropping off the scoring. There's Mersberger and French. This was the battle that kicked off and brought Blair Hosey back into the mix.
Two guys that were battling for the runner-up position last year, potentially going for the championship here in 26. Grimm on such a strong Sunday, trying to get into the mix, and that could have been the move that had him be the meat of that sandwich, but unfortunately wouldn't be the case. But he had a front row seat to this, a phenomenal exit coming out of 10B, and a drag race down to the line. But on the anchors here, it's going to be French on the outside. That's going to let him pull away and take the point lead as your weekend winner.
Yeah, I mean, that was really spectacular stuff. So tentatively, Blair Hosey will be the one taking that. But Bryce Mersberger, I didn't see the 56 2 seconds up the road. I don't know about you. So again, mysteries to unfold. Grid Life Rush Series Race 4 is complete. It'll be Blair Hosey on top of the weekend. We'll be right back after this.